to this edition of A Short Taste of English. And in today's edition we are looking at the subject of cinema. Why cinema? Cinema is a very effective form of communication which uses music and images. I could talk about cinema for hours and hours, but of course we don't have so much time. So I'm going to look at four films which are very important for me in relation to learning. Okay, the first film goes back to about 1990, 1991, and the title of that film is Dead Poets Society. Why is that film important to me? That film is important to me because that film inspired me to become a teacher. Do you remember the film? The principal actor is Robin Williams. Yeah, he was a teacher. He was a very creative and a little bit alternative teacher, and he went to work in an American school where discipline was the priority. And he used his creative and alternative method with the children because he believed that learning is about making people want to learn themselves, making them discover and explore, not be forced and obliged to just listen and repeat. And the head, the principal of the school, was not happy about this method that he used, and so eventually he was fired or sacked, as we say in English. And do you remember the scene at the end of the film where the children are all standing on the desks, on their tables, protesting against the head of the school and supporting the teacher, Robin Williams? That was a great scene. Okay, so that film, Dead Poets Society, was a film that inspired me to become a teacher. Okay. The second film we're going to talk about is, this may be a surprise for some of you, goes back just a couple of years, 2008 I think. The title of this film is Yes Man. Now Yes Man is an American film with the great actor Jim Carrey playing the role of a guy who's a little bit funny, but maybe simple too, you could say. And he was a little bit depressed after his partner left him, and he discovered a method whereby he could say yes to everything and it could change his life. So that's what he did. Any question? Yes. And the result of this very simple decision completely changed his life. And the film is also quite comical because of the different situations, but my interpretation is it's a very good film about motivation, because if you say yes to something, you open new doors. If you say no, you close doors. So it gives you an option. Obviously you need to find the right balance, but I think the idea is good. So that's Yes Man, a great film about motivation. The third film has already been mentioned in one of the other episodes of A Short Taste of English, and that's the film which won many Oscars in 2009, Slumdog Millionaire. Yeah? How is it possible for a poor Indian boy from a village, no education, no school, no university, to enter this program? Who wants to be a millionaire? And answer all the questions correctly. Very simple, because all the questions and all the answers had a link with very, very strong emotions that this young boy had experienced in his past life. Good emotions and bad emotions. It's not important. It helps the memory. Okay? So that film is very, very good to show the link between emotion and memory. Very important. Okay? Now, the fourth film final film I'm going to talk about is also a big Oscar winner, but not from 2009, but from, yep, you guessed it, 2010, last year. And the title of that film is The King's Speech. Yeah. Now that film is about a young king who had a problem. He had a speech impediment, and his lovely wife, the Queen Mother, as she became, wanted to help him with his problem, so she took him everywhere to try to resolve this problem. And they came across a doctor, an Australian doctor, who had very, again, creative alternative methods, and the methods included breathing, laughing, la 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 la, singing, gargling, and rolling. And yes, these methods worked. So the king was eventually able to speak without this problem of his impediment, of his stammer, as we say in English. So that film is very, very good. For me, that film was really interesting because I could see the link between the methods used by the doctor in the film to help the king. Remember, this is a true story, and the methods of Laugh and Learn. Okay? If you don't believe me, have a look at the Laugh and Learn website and check for yourself. Okay? So, which is your favorite film? And why? Have a think about it. Have a think about which is your favorite film, which is maybe your favorite 2 or 3 films, and think about why it's your favorite film. What does the film do for you? Is it an emotional thing or a memory thing? Okay? When you've got the ideas, share it with your fellow students, with your colleagues, and compare. Okay? Okay. So, if you like the methods used by the doctor, the Australian doctor in the film The King's Speech, have a look at the Laugh and Learn website and look for one of the courses that gives you English with the Laugh and Learn method 100%. Okay? As usual, I'll leave you with one of my expressions, and the expression today is: the image is more powerful than the word. The image is more powerful than the word. Again.